Hey, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's Zach here with CabZ TV once again. I didn't bring you guys a review of yesterday's early access to The Walking Dead because, quite frankly, I fell asleep during the afternoon and the Packer game was on at night, so I just ran out of time. But here I am bringing you the review for Promises Broken, Season 11, Episode 7. So here's your official spoiler warning. So if you have not been able to see the episode yet, or if you don't have access to AMC Plus, just wait till you guys watch it and come back and check this out. And imagine if you guys have stuck around this long, you kind of all in. So this episode kind of had three separate stories going, which isn't necessarily an uncommon thing. But the kind of first story, I'm just gonna kind of focus on a portion of it, and like, cause we did get a really big character reveal, and so I'm gonna talk about the Commonwealth because it starts out with them guys like clearing the walkers of Ezekiel, Princess, the presumably fake Stephanie, which pretty sure she's the fake Stephanie. I'm pretty sure it's confirmed. But yeah, so and Eugene, and like after they're clearing these walkers and like I guess what's gonna be additional space for the Commonwealth after they get it, cleaned out, rehabilitated and all that. Ezekiel starts having like a cough attack and Princess is like, you need to get help. They have like real doctors here. And like Stephanie says something to Lance Hornsberry, who plays a big role in this episode. Can he give us help? And I'm like, oh, I'll talk to him, which he ends up getting Ezekiel help, which is really cool. Well, like while that scene's kind of going on, we get our first introduction to the new character. And unless you've read the comics, you won't really know. But like when I seen it, I was like, is that Sebastian Milton? No, Sebastian Milton plays a big role in the comics. If you've been around for him, it's just, anyways. So like that was our first glance, and like what else is going on in this story is Yumiko is going to be having a meeting with Pamela Milton. She does meet with some of like her office people, including who is supposed to be the real Stephanie, I do believe. Um, and but she who appears to be like the secretary, direct secretary or assistant for Miss Milton. Anyways, yeah, so she ends up like also meeting with her brother, and like she's like, I don't understand why you don't want to be a surgeon. And she's like, you don't understand. Like he's like, I like this life. It's important that they don't know that I was a doctor. Well, he ends up getting arrested shortly after this, and I'm wondering if it's because how like when they were being interrogated, getting accepted, that she said how her brother's a thoracic. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but a surgeon. And so I'm wondering if like that kind of exposed him. He's in trouble now. Now, Yumiko ends up running into Lance, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'm working on stuff to get help for you and your friends." She's like, "What's in it for me?" Or what's in it for you? That why do you want to do this? And he's like, I need friends in higher places for a favor when the time's right. Makes me wonder if he's trying to become the new governor instead of Miss Pamela Milton. But we keep on going, and like so, Ezekiel pops up later in the episode feeling better. They give him antibiotics and stuff. I don't know if they know he's got cancer, if they just treated a cold or like alleviated his symptoms. But they Lance is like, you guys ready for a new task? And Ezekiel's like, yeah. So Eugene and Stephanie get sent to like the north area, and then Ezekiel and Princess get sent somewhere else. As they're walking up, as Eugene and Princess are walking to the north, basically the new character, the big reveal, Sebastian Milton. Now, if you guys haven't read the comics and you don't want to know how Rick ends up passing away in the comics, skip ahead about 30 seconds in the video. And I'm giving you that warning now. All right, so Sebastian Milton is the one that killed Rick in the comics. This big time character, big time. Yeah, and long story short, like it's gonna play out way differently in the show. I don't know if he's still gonna kill someone, but it's gonna play out way differently in the show. Um, but yeah, so kind of jumping back in, like so Eugene is running up because there's walkers coming. Sebastian's there with his girlfriend, and walkers are coming up. He's not paying attention. Eugene runs up, and Eugene has been out in the world. He isn't the most like survivalist out of our group that we're used to, but as these people who haven't been really opposed to, or like exposed to the apocalypse as often, he's like a monster compared to them. I'm just saying. Anyways, he goes there, handles stuff. Stephanie helps a little bit, and all of a sudden, like Sebastian's being a brat, and like, oh, you just ruined my date, this and that. And he's like, well, you ought to be grateful. And like Eugene's giving him his word of mouth. The girlfriend's off to the side just standing there, and Stephanie notices a walker walking him. He's like, Eugene. She's like, and he's like, no, 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 I gotta say this. Well, Stephanie also knows who that guy is and wants Eugene to stop arguing because of that. But this walker's coming up, and so Stephanie takes it in her own hands to kill the walker, but it splatters blood onto his girlfriend. And he just so like the comics. He's a big ass brat in the comics, big ass brat. Um, Spoil gets away with stuff, pushes Mercer around. So like, soon as that the blood splatters on his girlfriend's shirt, he's like, "You stupid bitch!" Eugene clocks his ass, and she's like, "Oh my god, what'd you just fucking do?" Like he doesn't know what he did because he doesn't know who the hell that is. All of a sudden, Lance and Mercer come up, and he's like, "What the hell?" He's like, "Rotters came up, and this guy attacked me." He's like, "Well, that's uncategorically true." He's like, "But did you hit him?" Well, yeah. And he so like technically he did attack him. So like also like all brat like Sebastian's like pounding into Mercer. This so in the comics, Mercer ends up like wanting Rick to help him like get Pamela out of control, so are not in control. So I'm wondering what's gonna be going on here with this. Anyways, like long story short, Eugene's in jail now, and Lance apparently is willing to help Alexandria, but then again, he doesn't know where it's all at, and he's like, now the stakes are higher. I need to know where your place is and the name of it and blah blah blah. And it seems like Eugene's really considering telling him because one, he doesn't want to be in jail, and plus they need help, and Lance is playing hardball. That's kind of like where we're wrapped up in there. Besides the fact that Yumiko's meeting with Pamela got cut before it could even start because of the whole her kid getting punched thing. So we got to meet Sebastian before Pamela, and yeah, I don't know. It's kind of chaos, like with her brother being arrested, Eugene's arrested, and like I think Ezekiel and all them are like guilty by like being acquaintances. You know, it's kind of a mess. Then we got the in between story with Leah and Daryl. So like Daryl's hanging out at the compost, and Pope has like a little group out, and they come up, and Pope's kind of like digging into all of them. Like you don't care, you haven't looked hard enough because they haven't found anything yet. Your brothers are dead, and like he starts yelling at Leah. Well, he sends Leah and Daryl out after Leah stands up for them to go find see if they can find anything. They run across this like innocent bystander, and like Daryl knows this, but Daryl can't really say anything because he'll blow his cover to Leah. And he's like, I don't know. She's like, how'd you miss all these patrols? And he's like, I don't know. Like basically that he goes, or Daryl's like, show us your show us that you're not lying, because he's got his wife who's badly hurting his kid back hiding somewhere. Show us you're not lying, otherwise I'll kill you, and then I'll find them and kill them. Like kind of, I don't. Daryl didn't want to do this, but he's playing his part and trying to give like help that guy prove that, he does. Daryl doesn't want him to die. Long story short, so like Leah goes along with it, but she radios in Pope, and Pope's like, she's like, how do you want us to engage? He's like, kill them all, and Daryl's like, fuck. Well, they and also like Daryl and Leah have this dialogue where Leah's like, well, he's made me strong, and Daryl's like, I doubt you needed anyone to make you strong, and like stuff like that. But when they get to where the guy is hiding his family, he's telling the truth. His wife, I don't know if she was bitten, guts, like looks like she's bleeding profusely, and guts are hanging out, or just insides that things that are in your body ain't supposed to be out of your body, or outside your body. And so at that moment, I thought Daryl was gonna have to do something with Leah to save those people, but Leah ends up take the boy, go, don't ever come back. Like basically, don't ever see me again. And like the wife's like, do it, and like, cause like she's about to die. Long story short, she's about to die, and so like there's a little sad moment where they're telling her bye and get out of there, and then she tells Leah, God answered my prayer. They wouldn't ever leave unless you guys did that. I'm ready. Please put me down. And then Leah can't do it with the shotgun, and Daryl ends up doing it for her. And he's like, what are you gonna tell the Pope? I'm gonna say you killed them. Or she says, I'll say you killed them. It'll be good for you. And basically, like, I think Daryl was about to say what's going on, but then they get a radio that something's going on. Well, in the meantime, Negan's been teaching Maggie how to herd the walkers. Ezekiel went like kind of searching, make sure there's people still at the Meridian. And he saw there was this weird man of God scene that ended up, I don't know what it really meant. At first I thought the guy was going to realize he was there. It kind of seemed like he did, but I don't know. Like, it's kind of weird. I don't know if Ezekiel's in this weird place when it comes to like his faith and all that. But so after some failed attempts, Maggie finally gets better at hurting the walker. She accused like she was frustrated with Negan because the mask wasn't on right and all this. What was really cool. Well, like I had total reminiscent of like when Alpha was like working in Negan, because Negan, as after a point where Maggie's getting a little bit of hang of it, he's sitting over there by a campfire roasting a pig. And I remember when the Whisperer shared some meat with him when Beta wouldn't let him eat. So like I was getting total like Whisperer vibes, which that's what they're about to do. And some of these people that they're hoarding up are Maggie's past people that were at the Meridian, and Elijah, yeah, Elijah, is that his name? Elijah. I think that's, if I got his name wrong, I apologize. I think it's Elijah. Um, his sister's been missing, and she's like, if we find her, this and that. Well, after they finally successfully get a horde going, and they're heading towards the Meridian, you see Elijah look over, and there's his sister as a walker, and like Maggie, who's also leading the like Maggie kind of gave me Alpha vibes, and I'm all about it. I don't know. Also, it's worth putting together. There was a big moment between Maggie and Negan where basically she like in front of Gabe, Negan got Maggie to promise that he doesn't have to keep looking over his shoulder, like he doesn't have to like worry about being killed like cold blood and this and that, and he'll help her. Otherwise, he's walking away because they both know that she needs him right now. And so, with that deal being said, that's where he helped teach her about the hoarding the walkers and leading them, you know. And I was really glad about that scene because it was kind of like we didn't really get to see what the process was, and it raises more questions for me. But you got to see like you have to be limp and this and that, and I wonder if there's a couple things that could be. Also, you want to like blend into normal people if you're trying to do that, so you look like walkers. But at the same time, you probably don't want to like be moving around like where the walkers can like think, oh, your hand's something live and eat you. Now I'm guessing when you cover yourself in guts, they just don't think you smell like meat, so you can walk however, because that's what it's always seemed like. Now I wonder if you're wearing the mask and you put some guts on you, does that work really good? Worth wondering. Anyways, yeah, and so at the campfire, like Maggie's like, so if you could go back, you'd do things differently. Because Negan was telling her, like, I know what it's like to lose a place, and I know you're gonna think I'm full of shit, and I'm telling the truth. Like, it sucks, and what you're about to do is crazy, and this and that. And she's like, so if you could go back, you'd do things differently. And he's like, yeah, if I could go back, I would kill every one of you that was in the lineup. And she's like, why are you telling me this? He's like, because what you're thinking, killing all of them. Like, he didn't straight out say it like that, but I think he was like reaffirming what you're thinking about killing all of them to make sure they don't come back and get you. That is the right thing to do. That's what I should have did. That's where I messed up protecting my people. And it was kind of this weird moment where like Negan was trying to show that he's on the same page, but it also came off offensive to Maggie, because in her eyes, like when they attacked the sanctuary, they didn't hurt any families. Well, he brought up how Aaron's Gracie is from that one outpost, which is true, and also how all these people had friends. They might not have had kids as families, but they all had friends. So he still had to explain to them how he failed them as a leader. But anyways, the episode ends with the horde approaching the Meridian, which is why Daryl and Leah got called back. So I don't know. Next week looks intense. We should have definitely a wrap up to the Reapers, or just about the wrap up to the Reapers, as well as we got a storm coming in Alexandria or something with walkers breaking in. I would love if we got to meet Pamela or got some more of the Commonwealth. I'm not sure. That's not in the synopsis, so I'm not sure what we're in. But let me know, how'd you guys like the episode? What are you guys thinking? And yeah, are you guys gonna keep AMC Plus after The Walking Dead's done with this portion to watch Fear and the World Beyond, or what are you guys thinking? Let me know down in the comments. Anyways, if you guys could like and subscribe, it always helps with the algorithm, and I really appreciate that. And have a great day.